Good morning, 5K. So this is the last week of school and you only have 3 math lessons this week, today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then you made it through all of the math lessons in our book. So my sweets, today is just a review of what we did a couple days ago. So I just want you to turn and look over here. We're gonna be counting hundreds, tens, and ones again, just like we did a couple days ago. So my sweets, remember on these big squares, we counted how many pennies were on these big ones. Do you remember how many that was? There were 100. 100 on this square, 100 pennies on this big square, 100 pennies on this big square. Do you remember how many pennies are on these little rectangles? We counted by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there are 10 on each of these little rectangles. And you know how many pennies here? Just 1. So my sweets, what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice writing what number this represents. These pictures make a number, and so we're gonna practice writing that number. So the first thing we always do is we always count the biggest number, like how many 100s we have. So when you look at the board, how many big 100s do you see? I see 100, 200, and 3 100. So I'm going to write a 3 here because I see 3 full 100s. There's 100 pennies, 200 pennies, 300 pennies. Now we're going to count how many tens we have because it goes hundreds, tens, ones. Remember, just like you do in your math papers every day at the top, as you write the number in 100s, tens, and ones. So we're just doing that same thing. So how many tens do you see? You have 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, and 4 tens. So I'm going to write a 4. And we can count 10, 20, 30, 40. So 100, 200, 300, 300, 10, 20, 30, 40. 340 right now is what we're at. But now we need to count the ones. Count with me, ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to write a 6 because there are 6 ones. So remember, this is my hundreds place, this is my tens, and this is my ones. All right, what number does this say? Let's count to find out. Count by hundreds, tens, and ones. We're gonna have to switch twice. Switch to counting by tens, switch to counting by ones. Count with me, ready? Go. 100, 200, 300, switch. And now we're counting by tens. 310, 320, 330, 340, switch. 341, 342, 343, 344, 345, 346, 300, 346. Nice job. If this is tricky, it's okay. You don't need to be good at it. This is just teaching you. So next year when you see it in first grade, you go, hey, yeah, I remember Mrs. Bart talks about that. All right, so it's okay if it's still a little confusing. This is just introducing you to it, my sweets, okay? So now let's do this one. First, we do how many full 100s you see. So how many full 100s do you see? Why don't you say it right now? Ready, go. Yeah, just 1. So I'm going to write a 1. Awesome. Now we're going to do the tens place because we have to do hundreds, tens, and ones. I can write it under here too. Hundreds, tens, and ones. How many tens do you see? 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens. So I need to write a 3. And then I do my pennies. How many pennies do I see? How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that part's easy, right? You just write how many 100s, you write how many tens, you write how many ones. That part's easy, but now let's try counting it. This part's a little bit trickier, but that's okay. It's good for us to practice, and it's good for us to try tricky things and to do hard things. Because if we never did hard things, well, then we never learn. Because even I do hard things, and that's how I learn how to get better at it and learn how to do it. If I never did it, never tried, I would never know. So So it's good to try, my sweets, even if it's tricky and hard. So we're gonna count by 100, switch to counting by tens, switch to counting by ones. Here we go, ready, set, go. 100, switch, 110, 120, 130, switch, 131, 132, 133, 134, 134. Awesome, my sweets. All right, what I would like you to do, that's it, just a short review today, because we spent a lot of time on this last week, and it's going to be on your worksheet right now. So this was just practice. I think you guys understand. You count how many hundreds, write the number 1, 2, 3. Count how many tens, 1, 2, 3, 4. Write the number. Count how many ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Write the number. You understand how to do that. It's the counting that gets a little tricky, but you understand how to write this number in hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, so we're going to go to the worksheet. What I want you to do is I want you to open up to lesson 133. 100, 3 tens, and 3 ones. Look at that. All right, I want you to open up to 133. And we're going to do this together. Not all of it, but a lot of it. All right, I want you to look at number 2. Number 2 says, I will take 1 cube from the bag without looking in the bag. What color am I certain to get? That means what color will I absolutely get? So I want you to look. Remember, they always have a key, a clue. R equals, let's sound that out. We know those sounds and those letters. Red. Red. So look in the bag. If I reached in there and pulled out 1, what color would I get? 100%, I would get it. I'm certain to get it. What color would I get? Yeah, red. Why? Because they're all red. Look at all these cubes. Only have R's on them. There's no Y's for yellow, no O's for orange, no G for green, no B for blue. The only color that I can absolutely get is red. So I want you to take your pencil. It says, what color am I certain? That means I will totally get it. Certain to get. Well, there's only one color in there, and that's the color red. So we have to write the color red. What letter says R? The letter? Yep, R. Right here. You can do uppercase. I'm going to do lowercase. E. E says atabeta, egg, elephant. Ed. D. D starts like an O. You go around, push up, pull straight down. Red. Awesome. Now it says, what color is it impossible for me to get? Impossible means you can't get it. So look in the bag. What color can't we get? We can't get every color other than red. We can't get pink. There's no pink. No yellow, no orange, no green, no blue, no purple, no black, no brown. We can't get those. So all of those colors are impossible to get. Let's just pick one though. How about we pick a word that we could kind of sound out? So here's what we're going to do. Let's pick green. It's impossible to get green. We cannot get green because there are only red in the bag. So we're going to spell green. G, G. What letter says G, G, G? Letter G. Yep. I'm going to make lowercase. It starts like an O. Push up, pull down under chocolate, and then it has a hook. G likes to go fishing. Grrr. R, lowercase r, down. You trace up on the line you made. Give it a little hook. There should be no space or no loop. Use a hiding stick. It hides in the other one. Grrr. E. What letter do you hear? E. And not just one, but 2. Over, up, and around. Grrr. E. Letter N. Starts like R. You're going to come down, hiding stick, push straight up, and you're going to curve all the way around to the bottom. Green. It is impossible to get green because there are only red in the bag. All right, my sweets, we're gonna do number 3. So before I read that to you, you need to take out your red. Take out your red. I'm going to set this up. All right, we're doing number 3. I flopped mine over because this board is not big enough like my whiteboard at school, so I can't see the whole thermometer. It says that we need to color the thermometer to show 40 degrees. I want to make sure I was right, 40. So you have your red. Remember, we always start down here on the inside, but what I always do first is I find 40 and I make a line right there on that inside part. So I know I'm coloring up to that part and then I stop. All right, my sweets, you start down here on the inside. You take your time because the whole thing's not red. Just the fluid, that liquid on the inside, the mercury that goes up and down is red. So it should be a pattern. White, red, white. So I color up, up, up. It's 40 degrees warm. 40 degrees is cold. I don't even think 40 is cool. 40 to me is cold. All right, so I'm coloring neatly and carefully. I got my 40. I'm gonna stop. All right, my sweets, you're gonna write a number sentence for the story. Remember, on your 3 lines, you write I, now. Say that with me, ready? Go, I, now. You're gonna do that with your mom. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna count these pictures to find out what number we need to write. It says how many pennies are shown. Well, this is exactly what we did here. All right, so you know how to do this. So first we count the hundreds. We count the biggest number first. So how many hundreds do you see? 100, 200. So the number I need to write first is a 2 in the hundreds place. Then I count my tens. How many groups of 10 do you see? Count with me. 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s. So next I write a 4. And then I need to count my ones. I can't forget them. How many ones do I have? Yeah, just 1. 100, 200, switch, 210, 220, 230, 240, switch, 241, 241, 200s, 4 10s, 1 1. All right, my sweets, down here, you're gonna need to circle the plus and minus, because they mix them up. So be very careful. All right, my sweets, that's it for today's math lesson. It was super easy because it was review. So review always goes a little bit faster. You're gonna finish the rest of this with your mom, and I'll see you tonight for a bedtime story and for tomorrow's math lesson. Bye, my sweets. Be good listeners. Love you. Bye.